guys. Bring you here another video on the channel for UCL Fantasy. I'm in preparation for Matchday 11, right? Deadline coming up here on Tuesday. Kind of a follow-up to that original video. This is going to be just another video to kind of recap some final thoughts, some final changes that I made. If if you didn't watch the first video, and you want a more detailed kind of walkthrough on my analysis on the for Matchday 11, I'd recommend you guys to go back and watch my original video. I put up like a big list on the screen of good names that I see potential in every single position, multiple names, with their market value as well. Specifically detailed. A lot of analysis is going to be more in depth than this video is going to be. So if you guys want a more detailed analysis for the Matchday 11, I'd recommend you guys going back and watching that original video. This is just going to be kind of a wrap up with final thoughts and some changes, right? First of all, I'd just like to thank you guys all for the support in the first video, the views, the likes. I appreciate you guys a lot. Like I said, a lot more content planned here on the channel. So if you're interested in my future videos, definitely give a subscribe. I'm not going to let you guys down. I'm going to put up content. We got a lot of interesting tournaments coming up, especially the World Cup. That's going to be a lot of fun, right? So definitely stay tuned. So I'm just gonna start off by saying thank you guys for the constructive criticism in the comments, because I noticed that there's a lot of things in the original team that maybe went underlooked by me. I didn't really pay all that much attention to, and a lot of you guys pointed out to me some things, some critics that could be fixed, that could improve my team. So I really appreciate you guys with all those comments too. The constructive criticism helped me a lot in my decision making and making these changes, be it with like the potential suspensions due to yellow cards. Like, you guys know who you are in the comment section. I just want to go ahead and thank you guys for that, because that helped me out a lot. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and outline the changes I made. If you guys notice me looking here to the side off consistently, that's just because I wrote down in a piece of paper everything I wanted to discuss, the changes, because a lot of the time when I'm making the videos I'll forget a lot of things. So I just want to make sure I give you guys a complete walkthrough. All right, so I switched Vinny for Raphinha. Vinny, again, he's on a yellow card. The next yellow he gets, he'll be suspended for a game. That's something that we have to look out for. Also, with the fact that we're Real Madrid, guys, I don't know, right? We expect a lineup, around the basis of, like Vinny, maybe Gonzalo Garcia plays, maybe Brian Diaz, Guler, right? It's kind of like a mixed bag of what we can expect to see. And the reality is that it doesn't, like with Mbappe, it just feels like something is missing, right? As it stands, I know Mbappe is a major doubt to play this game. Realistically, he's probably not going to play. And without Mbappe, it's just, I feel like it's not 100% the same, I'd even go as far to say that with the way Man City, to me, are improving offense, like in terms of the offensive side, they could even be favorites in this matchup. I know I talked about a lot of even playing field in this matchup in the last video, but it looks like with all these pieces kind of clicking, we have Semenyo, Cherky playing really well. Even though they had a little bit of a slip up last game against Forest, I still think if they capitalizing their chances and were more, they proposed the game more, weren't at so shy to attack at times, that with those attacking pieces, Man City could be a real threat, right? Like if Haaland gets it going with Semenyo, like we saw a clear chance that game against Forest where Semenyo put the ball in front of Haaland. If he could just stretch his legs and tap it in, dude, that's a goal right there. They would have won the game, right? I feel like there's a lot of attacking potential with City. And Real Madrid, like if you're gonna depend on Vinny, right? Which I'm not saying he can't score, right? I had him in my original, team, but I don't know. It just like the fact that he's on a yellow card suspension, that kind of draws me away a little bit from him as well. And then the fact that I can get Raphinha instead of him, which is the guy that I brought in for Vinny. I'm switching Vinny for Raphinha. Raphinha, right, on penalties. We saw him take the last one against Copenhagen when I believe Levy and Yamal were on the pitch. So Raphinha's on penalties. We know what he can do, especially in this stage in the competition last year, right? Like he was killing it, right? And I have Barcelona coverage. What this would mean is that this eliminates the potential planned transfer that I had in last video. You guys saw me talk about how I had planned to bring in Fermin Lopez. That's going to be canceled now with the addition of Raphinha. That would be my Barcelona extra coverage now. And also the fact that Fermin Lopez is also one yellow card away from suspension could potentially be a negative, right? That kind of draws us off of him. So Raphinha would be the substitute for Vinny. I'm happy with that. Also, Raphinha arguably more secure with minutes as well, okay? Anything else that I forgot to mention in terms of that? Um, no, that's it. So Raphinha for Vinny, Kvara and Nuno I took out. Okay, I felt like maybe I had a little bit too much PSG. It's gonna be a tougher matchup, right, than a lot of the other ones. I still think PSG are favorites. Okay, especially this fixture. I think they win it in France. I still think PSG are favorites to go through. But if you think about it, if I use the transfers that I had planned on in last video, which I had them planned to be used in the attack, um, that would mean that I'd be forced to keep one of Vitinha, or potentially what that would cause me, like, to summarize, that would have I would have a lot of PSG guys left in my team. I'd have to take hits if I wanted to take them out, and realistically, I'd be depending on a positive result for PSG, which realistically Chelsea have the quality to make that not happen. They could potentially be on their way to qualify by the second leg, or qualify in the second leg, right? And then I would have to use a lot of transfer to take out a lot of those PSG assets. So I think, and there was a lot of comments saying, yeah, maybe you're a little bit too heavy on the PSG, and I definitely agree with that, right? Like, not only have they not been as good, I still personally do think they can click like really quick and be and we can see shades of the PSG from last year, but still it wouldn't be a good idea, right? To kind of bank that they're going to go through and then have to use all my transfers to take them out if we don't get that expected result. So Nuno was already on a yellow card, one yellow card away from suspension as well. That's something you guys could be looking as a potential risk as well. So I went ahead and I took Nuno out for Timber, and I took Kvara out for Declan Rice. I feel like Declan Rice just gives me Arsenal set piece coverage. We saw Rice guys right at this point in the competition last year, especially against big clubs like Real Madrid. Like, he scored a brace right against Real Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. Was it 2 free kick goals, or was it 1 free kick goal, 1 open play goal? Like, regardless, Declan Rice seems to turn up at these points in the competition. A lot of these matchups, which we expect to see like deeper on into the competition, right? Like tougher games, right? Not as much open play opportunities, right? You depend a lot on your set piece plays, aka what does that translate into? A lot of potential contributions for Declan Rice, in my point of view. Not only that, these cagey games, right? Not only like are you gonna rely a lot on your set piece threat, but a lot of the times like one ball comes loose like to the edge of the box, and who usually is there to clean up those chances for Arsenal? Declan Rice, right? We see this all too often, right? Like a one ball like loose edge of the box, he just first times it. He scores a lot of his goals that way. So I just see a lot of potential for Declan Rice here, right? For both fixtures, and arguably, right? If you look at the transfers, right, which again, Rice in for Kvara, Timber in for Nuno, I feel like Arsenal at the end of the day are the better defense, which means more clean sheet opportunities for Timber. And then in the other hand as well, I feel like Timber's goal threat is comparable to Nuno. We know Nuno and Hakimi have great numbers, which was one of my original thought processes for picking him in the first place, right? But if you think about it, Timber's numbers are very comparable to Nuno right now. He has 8 goal contributions right now. I believe the last 3 Premier League games he had a offensive return. So they're very like Timber and Nuno are comparable in terms of goal threat, right? As of right, like the contributions wise, at least the statistics say so. And then Timber has he plays for a better defense in Arsenal and an easier opponent, right? At the end of the day, like Leverkusen are not as quality of a team right now as Chelsea, right? Chelsea could cause more problems to PSG than Leverkusen can cause problems to Arsenal, in my point of view. And then besides that, I feel like a lot of you guys are already on for Arsenal, or are planning to be on for Arsenal in the next round, right? When Arsenal, assuming they go through, right? We're all expecting Arsenal to go through. Assuming Arsenal go through, they'd be playing one of Bodo or Sporting, right? Which means that a lot of experienced players are going to be on for Arsenal, or you guys are already on for Arsenal right now. So this would kind of get me on the playing field. If you guys don't see, I have right here. Sorry for blocking him with the camera. But I feel like being on for Arsenal right now is the right move. We're getting out ahead, if anything. If a lot of people are not on for Arsenal already, which I think they do, hey, we're gonna be ahead, in a sense, right? If they're not, they'll be on it by next round, I'm sure. And yeah, like even though it's Bodo Glimt, potentially my guess is Bodo Glimt goes through. Like even in that fixture in Norway, we'd play our Arsenal guys, right? Like it's default. You just play them, see what happens. They just have really good defensive numbers, and then Declan Rice is just way too involved in that Arsenal attack. So I really like those moves. And then what else we got to talk about? Upamecano. I switched. It was a simple one for one transfer in terms of Upamecano for Ta, just because of yellow card basis. He's one. Upamecano's one yellow card away from being suspended. Defenders obviously more prone to getting yellow cards, so I just switched him to Ta. Ta, who has one yellow card right now, so he gives me. He's less likely to be suspended, right? Just a reminder: after the quarterfinal rounds, yellow cards do reset. But just because Upamecano, right, is literally one away from being suspended, I'm going to play the odds game. Switch to Ta, who has, right, he still has to get 2 yellow cards to be suspended. So, safer pick, right? Makes sense. What else? We talked about all of that. We talked about how a lot of people are going to be on 4 Arsenal, right, already, or we're going to plan on being. And I do think my team, the way it's set up, kind of expresses what my predictions for the tournament are going to be, right? I already talked to you guys. I see a final of Bayern against Arsenal or Bayern against Barca. That is my predictions. A lot of you guys will agree with me. It just makes sense. Those are the teams that I'm favoring to go deep into the tournament, right? And if you look at my team setup, I'm banking on that, right? I have a lot of Arsenal. I have a lot of Barcelona. We're going to add potentially more Bayern players coming up next. So I just like it, okay? And then, let's see. I'd also recommend you guys to stick with your gut, okay? Stick with your gut, dude. Like, how often do we see this in fantasy? Like, if there's one piece or another that you think is going to be a differential, play them, dude. Like, don't sit there and regret not playing these guys. Like, if you have a differential bet that you want to go for, dude, take it. Trust me. Like, you're not going to get ahead ranks-wise by picking players that everybody has, right? Like, the rank that I'm at right now was a lot to do with differentials, right? Like, Fermin carried me a lot. Like, when he had that brace against Slavia Praha. Dude, that skyrocketed my rank. It's going to be plays like that, right? I'm not saying, right, like, take a gamble on on one dude that averages 20, 15 minutes a game and has 1 goal contribution in 30 games. And just because, whatever, like, you dreamed on said player last night that he was going to score, like, bet on him. I'm not saying that, right? But if you want to bet on, like, a guy that averages 90 minutes, right, like, he's, like, differential, low owned, he has decent little numbers, go for him, dude. If you got a good feeling about him, go for him, right? Don't play, like, Mr. Johnny that you dreamed of last night that has, like, 1 freaking goal contribution throughout the season and doesn't get minutes and may not even be substituted. I'm not saying that. Take educated risks, take, like, educated bets. Those can end up paying off as differentials. Mine for this match day, like we already talked about last match day, is the 2 Bodo Glimt boys, right? Hauge and Hoj. Like, these guys all have over 7 goal contributions each. I think one's on 9, the other one's on 10, something like that, right? Dude, they're just way too involved. I do see Bodo Glimt getting the result here. 2-1, 3-1 is my prediction, which means that one of them can have multiple goals. Both of them can score goals, which means one of them is likely to get player of the match. And let's say one of them scores 2 goals, the other one doesn't do anything. Regardless, right? One of them already scored me 2 goals. He got a player of the match award. They're both going to be low owned, I think. So, bro, already I'm gaining ranks with that. Like, realistically, bro, like, that's a jump, right? Like, we expect a jump with that. It's just little plays like that I would recommend you guys to do. Also, in terms of Olise and Yamal, I do know they're 1 card away from suspension. But let's be honest, guys. These 2 are the best midfielders in the game. Like, if you're floating around my rank, or let's say you're higher ranked, realistically, you're not keeping these guys out of your team. Even though they're 1 yellow card away, it's a threat. It can be a little bit of a headache that they're 1 yellow card away from suspension. Everybody's going to have this headache. Everybody's going to be dealing with that problem just like you. The reality is that they can't be missing from your team. They have to be in your team, right? So some guys are non-negotiable. I think that's the case with Olise and Yamal. Who cares that they're 1 yellow card away from suspension? They're the 2 best midfielders in the game, right? Let's see. So the planned transfers that I have with this team going into the second leg. So Hoj and Hauge are both going to be out 100%, right? This is barring injuries, right? If we dodge injuries, if we dodge yellow card suspensions, and we have those 3 transfers to my disposal, I'm definitely going to bring out Hoj and Hauge. One of them is going to be Ekitike, 100%. Ekitike is locked to play in Anfield against Galatasaray for me. And then the other one would be either Mbappe or Diaz. My guess is Mbappe is going to be fit. And with Mbappe as a choice, it's Mbappe. Like, don't think too much. If somebody argues that, like, Mbappe is the best player in world football right now, I wouldn't argue against him, right? Like, we know what Mbappe can do, guys. This guy scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final. If Mbappe's fit, I'm bringing in Mbappe. I don't care that it's in the Etihad. I don't care. He's a captaincy option as well, I believe, because the fixtures flip. So for day one, I could have Mbappe as a captaincy option. I would definitely be looking at that, okay? For the second leg, right? And then the other transfer, the third transfer, is going to act as like a flex transfer to deal with a potential injury, a potential yellow card suspension, and a potential, let's say one team like destroys one team in the first leg. Like one of these matchups is completely one side in the first leg. We expect on the second leg a team potentially to rest guys because they already like demolished the team in the first leg. That could cause some guys that we have in the team here, big names, to be missing from the predicted lineups. So we could use that third transfer as well in that scenario to take a guy that's maybe predicted to be rested, right? So I think those transfers work really well. You guys tell me what you think about that. But yeah, that's gonna be it really. I'd get one negative I think is if we look here. Let me see. Can I look? Can I go ahead here? Is it not gonna let me go ahead? But the reality is that these fixtures flip. So we would have with the transfers that I have planned, right? Realistically, my bad. If I have I know I'm talking a lot here, mixing information. Sorry. So again, planned transfers: Hoj, Ekitike, Mbappe, or Ekitike Diaz. Okay, if Mbappe doesn't play, and then the flex transfer. If I have that 100% to my disposal, my guess here, guys, is that I'm gonna take Vitinha out for Jabozla. Okay, so I have double Liverpool coverage in Anfield. Jabozla, Ekitike, that works perfectly. The one negative that could cause me though is I would have. Right now, the player split is good. We're, I believe, at 7-6. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're at a 6-7. 6-7 split right now. Day 1, day 2. That is as best as it can get, right? That's as good as it can get on a 13 outfield count. 6-7 is as good as it gets, which is what we're at right now for day 1. Awesome. But for day 2, if we do the transfers we have in mind, I would have the 3 Arsenal outfielders, right? Excluding Raya. I'd have one of Vitinha or Hakimi, that's 4, and then Mbappe potentially 5. So I'd have 5 players day 1 in the second leg, which is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world, right? 5 and then 8. I would rather it be 8 and 5, but it's one small negative, but I still think it works out, right? It's a bunch of good options. You can't go wrong, right? So that could be one negative. But again, I would just really like you guys to, what's it called? Please give me your thoughts in the comments, okay? Realistically, if you're watching this video, you're an experienced manager, right? Or you spend time on this game, right? The reality is you probably have ball knowledge, right? Like we're all, like you're probably leading your mini leagues. You're ahead of your friends. You're maybe floating around my rank, or you're higher ranked, or maybe you're lower ranked. But reality is, like, if you're watching this video, you care about the game. You spend time on this game. You're an experienced fantasy manager. So I would like to please hear your opinions on my team. Like, be it just on one player's, like one player, like a small critic you have. Any thoughts you may have on your team, on my team, please leave it in the comments. I take all of them as constructive criticism. So yeah, I would really like you guys, if you do have a second, please drop your thoughts on this team in the comments section. Your thoughts, I would really appreciate that, guys. I just want to see what you guys have to say about the team. Okay. One of the viewers asked me to show my predict 6 in the comments. I did not forget about you, bro. Let me go ahead and pull up the predict 6 really quick. I did not forget you. Let's see if it would load, right? Okay. Dude, it like my computer is really bad, guys. My bad. It's really slow. It's old. So I'm 9K right now, ranked in Predict 6. Not the worst, not the best. I've been as high as like 1,000 in the past. I usually do okay. Like 9K, I don't know. There's a lot of you guys with better ranks probably. You let me know what that is, if that's a good rank or not. I don't know. But my predictions right now, I know I already gave you the basic score lines, but I want to show you the detailed stuff, right? Yes, there will be a goal in the first half. I'm saying yes. This is just way too specific, saying both of them are going to score. If the question was one of them or not, I'd say yes, but both of them, no, it's too specific. Allison's definitely not going to keep a freaking clean sheet, dude. Dude, it's so laggy right now. Holy shit, dude. I think Barca score first. Will there be 4 more goals? No. Will Gordon score in this match? Dude, I don't think Gordon's going to do anything. That's just my prediction. Yes, it's Yamal. He's that guy, bro. Here, will team Bayern scores first. I'm just trying to go speed through this, bro, so that it doesn't crash, bro. 2-0. He's not keeping a clean sheet, bro. Goodbye. 1-0 Arsenal first half. No. No. Will someone score a penalty? No. I think this could be a Man City win, dude. With all these factors I already talked to you guys about. Okay. Will there be 4 more goals? Rodri's like it's a random punt, dude. Like we've seen Rodri do well in these games. He just gets like a random ball fall to him and he scores a banger from outside of the box. And then here, bro. There you guys go. I'm trying to finish the video so it doesn't crash. My computer is really slow, really laggy. But yeah, you guys please leave your opinions in the comments. I'd like to hear all of them. If there are any changes to my team, I'm not going to be able to do a live stream. I can't do another video. It's going to be in the post section in my channel. If I make any changes whatsoever, like an hour before the deadline, I'm going to put in the post section in my channel a little message saying, hey, I switched so-and-so for so-and-so. But yeah, guys, thank you again for watching the video. Good luck on Matchday 11. Peace out.